Previously on Danganronpa V2 New World Order.
You really are an idiot.
Yeah, okay, good. I knew that would be it. I spent some time fashioning together some makeshift slingshots. I say that I knew that would be it, but I clearly didn't because I got the first one wrong. Hello everyone and welcome back to Danganronpa New World Order. It's been a fair while since we've touched this game, but I was still very much looking forward to playing it again. I just haven't had an awful lot of free time in the last couple of months, but I'm glad that we were able to get back to it. So we last left off, we did a bunch of free time events, we managed to do everyone's events, some story and stuff, and we gathered everyone's underpants as well. So I think we're going to continue the story at long last. So yeah, let's get right down to it. Let's just go right where we left off. Also, we found out last episode that Miyu might have something to do with wherever she is. Oh, she's there. Okay, she's in the cafe. Miyu might have something to do, or some sort of association with the down Lucinda Airways flight, which seems to be the event that's tied that we're all somehow tied to, and the origin of why we're in this killing game. But we got everyone's underpants, and now we're going to continue with the chapter. I feel like this has been going on for a fair while, but let's go. It's time to practice lines for the upcoming plays. Oh yeah, that was a thing. No matter what my personal thoughts are, I have to join the others. Why did it have to be Shakespeare? Good. I'm with you, Natalia. All the world's a stage.
Nani?
Pardon? Our lines, dear lamb. We are to practice them, are we not? Hi. So I'm Duke Senior?
Caution is advised.
No, that would be Virginia. I do believe Orlando is your role. He seems to be a refined
How
gentleman.
mysterious.
I wonder what his view of the gods may be. Gender swap like usual.
Jeez!
Where is Virginia-chan anyway?
How soulless.
If she will not appear, then we will have to make do without. For all the men and women are merely players. They have their exits and their entrances.
This is the will of the gods!
And one man in his time plays many parts. That casual transition back into her lines. She's a natural at this. Meanwhile,
Just you watch.
I am a Jew. Really now? I think Levitica would be pleased to hear that.
Silence, slave.
I'm simply repeating my lines. I'm not actually a Jew.
Wow.
Did Shakespeare really write that?
Oh, you have got to be shitting me.
Okay, fuck this. I'd rather get stabbed.
Such a wonderful person!
Ah, perfect. You can join our group. We're missing a Julius Caesar. Dash? Our table's this way! You spend the rest of the evening practicing your lines, secretly grateful to have something to occupy your mind. I'm not sure what to think of this whole situation. The bicameral room, there's a definite power to that place. It's indescribable, unscientific. Visiting that place almost feels like a routine now. Something to be done every day as if by dictation. Seemed like a prison schedule. And when you take that away from a prisoner, all that's left is a hollow state of disarray. I'm being too serious. What would Sis say at a time like this? Gosh, Nat-chan, why do you have to be so serious all the time? I really hope you're okay. I'm sorry I can't be there for you right now, but I'll come as soon as I'm out. And don't think I've forgotten about you, Blaze. Or you, Senpai.
Leave it to me!
Just you watch. I'll get everyone out of here. There doesn't need to be another senseless killing. Not another. Still, the thing that so-called Game Master said, I can't help but feel that there was something hidden buried in those words. Something disturbing. Like the ramblings of a deranged prisoner. Ugh, I wish I had more to work with. I really hope the next meeting turns up something concrete. Knock knock. Another visitor? Who is
As
it?
logic dictates.
That would be me. May I trouble you with my presence? Why now? Hi, come in, Sigmund-kun. You let Sigmund into your room. I see the interior hasn't changed since yesterday. Why would it? You
I
got me.
tried!
I've never been one for interior rearrangement. But is that really what you're here for, Nyan? Given the time of day, I'll be straightforward with you. I have a favor to ask. A favor?
Sheesh.
The last time this happened, I ended up having to collect everyone's nothing, Nyan. He knows! We took his! Must think more before speaking. I promise this will be quick. I'm in the process of gathering some data on the extent of our memory loss. And to better facilitate this, I wish to trial a new psyche evaluation test on you.
I would not be opposed.
The questions might be rather invasive, so I thought I'd call it in as a favor. That's it? I'd be glad to, Nyan. I knew I could count on you. Note that in the scheme of things, this may not be such a small thing after all.
This is but a social construct.
I am doing this to expand the field of knowledge itself. Okay, shall we begin? I'll start with the standard memory loss questions. Number 1. Do you remember your favorite moment from childhood? He proceeded to ask you a series of questions designed to test your memory. Finally, do you remember what happened in the days, weeks, or even months leading up to our kidnapping? Try and consciously direct your attention to every individual day. Focus on any key events that may have happened, and whether you remember encountering any of us outside a purely incidental context. Let's see. There was the time I spent in Terminus. That was when I saw Blaze. Yes, after returning, I dedicated much of my free time to surveilling him, to tracking down where he lived, where he was likely to go. It was a blatant misuse of my powers. I most clearly remember Blaze, though now that I think about it, I may have seen Florence's face a few times on the TV while I was in Terminus. She was always hard at work promoting her latest books. And I don't know why, but I think I may have seen Elisa and Grace a few times too. I would not be surprised. They both feature prominently on the news, if the results from everyone else are to be believed. Elisa confirmed seeing herself on the news multiple times, as did almost everyone else I asked. Grace, however, she seems rather averse to watching her own performances. I really did miss doing the voice acting of this game, because I really love doing Sigmund's voice. It's so nice to do. Is that all you remember? Hi. Can I get a final confirmation? You got it.
Interesting.
Very interesting. It seems our memory problem runs deeper than I had first anticipated. What do you mean? Not only are our memories different to each other, in some cases there are unexplained gaps, inconsistencies. For instance, you seem to have the strongest memories of the aircraft incident out of all the subjects I interviewed. Moreover, I feel as though I remember all of you from somewhere. Huh? So you think you've met me before? More than that, it's as if I knew you well. As a good friend. At the very least, we definitely had to have met. This is very strange. Perhaps we encountered each other at the execution? But he can't have been there. Only high-ranking law enforcement officials should have been present.
My sincerest apologies.
I'll hold off on making any rash assumptions until I finalize the results. But on a purely hypothetical basis, I believe there are two distinct possibilities. One, that our memories have been discreetly taken from us, such that we haven't even realized they have been taken. The assailant would have only removed the important parts, leaving everything else intact. And two, our pre-existing memories may not be what they appear. Are you suggesting our memories may be the product of artificial implanting? My, you're an astute observer. Precisely. The two conditions are also not mutually exclusive. It could be the parts of our memory that are missing, some of which was never filled. The result of this would then be a gap in our memories for a certain period of time, but other parts may have been implanted with false memories. He raises an interesting point. Would we even notice if our memories were false? It would be difficult even in the best of circumstances. Now, I think it would be a good time to jump deep into the psychological evaluation itself. Are you ready? Yes, I'm ready. Okay, question 1. What do you doubt more? The intentions of your friends, or the intentions of yourself? Ooh, I'll save here just in case. Honest to God, the intentions of myself. Because I have no doubt that someone else is going to kill someone, but after what with Blaze happened, it's a good question. Thank you. Question 2. Do you feel you could ever be committed to something that is more important than the lives of 14 people? No, of course not. Question 3. Do you think a part of yourself exists which could be a real threat to others? Yes. Question 4. Suppose that you view the world as fundamentally unjust. Would you seek to change it even if it may result in chaos? I don't know. No, I don't think so. Question 5. Finally, have you ever questioned the nature of your own reality? Interesting.
You have certainly exceeded my expectations.
Thank you for offering such refreshingly honest insight with your answers, and for endowing me with a much better understanding of the type of person you really are. That test, is he trying to profile us in order to stop another killing? Or does he have another purpose in mind? Sigmund is incredibly sus. He kind of always has been. He's just really strange and like such an in-depth, odd, and outstanding character. Say, Sigmund-kun, what is the reason for making such a test? I don't think there's anything stopping you from making an inference. Just thinking about our circumstances, about the bicameral room, and it seems there is still much we have to learn about each other. Farewell, Natalia.
Thinking.
I shall keep your answers anonymous, of course. You proceeded to depart from the room, staff in hand, and it was not long after that when, overcome by drowsiness, you found yourself drifting off into the waiting embrace of slumber. Oh! Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Here we fucking go. Is this because I got all the panties? What's this? It seems you've tapped into someone's heart. Probably. As promised previously, allow me to explain what's about to happen. The Love Suite is a sequence of scenes available from the candidates whose undergarments you've collected. You can partake in as many or as few as you want, provided you have their undergarments. During these scenes, you will be endowed with a heightened sense of intuition to minimize the possibility that you'll tip them off as to something being amiss, such as breaking character. Apparently the person will develop a migraine of godlike proportions if that happens or something. In this sequence, you play the role of their beloved. That is, what they're seeing is not really you, but someone who closely matches their ideal of a special someone. So try not to get the wrong idea. They only treat you as their beloved because you found a way to access their heart. Sound confusing? It's really just an affirmation of the deep trust you form by spending time with them. But again, you're not really their beloved. You're just someone dropped into the situation, who, by the powers vested in undergarments, can somehow intuit exactly what needs to be said and done. Probably. Just thought I'd emphasize it. The candidates can also be quite different. Just remember what you're seeing is only one version of them, locked away in the deepest, darkest recesses of their heart. I'm only driving that point home because of my superiors. They'll believe that there will be some very confused people if the above were to be skimmed. So strap yourself in, ladies and gents. It's Love Suite time. Try not to enjoy yourself too much. Operation Love Suite commence. Oh boy, oh boy. Where there's a mystery one? Okay, hold on. Let me move myself there quickly, and we'll. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna just put everyone's name in a randomizer, and I'm gonna just go in a random order. So just give me a sec. All right, it's because I did this with. It's funny because I did this with when I played Danganronpa 1 and 2 as well. When I was doing the bonus mode of whose free time events I was going to do. Okay, so this is the order we're going to go in. So the order is Mona, Dash, Miyu, Grace, Hunt, Sigmund, Florence, Levitica, Phoenix, Pierce, Zeke, Elisa, Virginia, and Eden. So I'm going to do Mona first then. Let's do this. Okay, I'll put myself back over here then. She thinks I'm her beloved. I better do my best not to break character.
Right in the middle of the day? You really are a brave one. So, how's your equipment? I want a fair match this time.
I can't tell which version of it is. A sporting rival? She spends some time inspecting your equipment.
I see you fixed the bolt. How can you stand this?
Stand what, Mona?
Going back living with the rest of those idiots.
Oh, I think this is the daytime version,
How can you stomach something like that?
but she's being weirdly nice.
It must be so painful for you.
It's the thought of my next match with you, Mona. Keeps me going. I love that Nat doesn't even have to think about it. Shuichi's just like, okay, we need to sort of think about this for a second. No, Nat's just like, I know what I'm doing. I'm in the zone.
You need to work on your romantic side.
There's only so many ways you can tell the truth.
Let's just have our match.
You find yourself engaging in an intense... I thought they said flirting. In an intense firing match, bolstered at least somewhat by your law enforcement training. We just shoot each other? Close until the very end.
It's a tie.
You dropped that last shot on purpose, didn't you?
So what if I did? My arms get tired too.
The ultimate weapons master, getting tired while handling a weapon?
You don't understand what it's like. I'm just that person. A coin with two sides. Some unnatural and obscene thing.
Don't listen to them, Mona. This is a world driven by talent. One of the few advantages of living in such a world is that your destiny is shaped by your abilities. You're very talented, Mona, and this type of world allows you to become anyone you'd want to be. I know you're aware of this, so shouldn't that be enough?
Not if it's just me. My condition can be unreliable, even at the best of times. I'm surprised I haven't forgotten who I am. Or maybe I have, but failed to realize it.
You're the same Mona I've always known. Of that you can be sure.
It wasn't always like this.
Hey Mona, you're being a bit idiotic, don't you think? Aw, I hate it when she cries. I really like Mona. Mona's definitely like one of my favorites in this game so far. Really like, despite the fact that she hasn't done an awful lot in the game, really like fleshed out, sympathetic, nice, wonderful character, even though she comes across as really brash and rude. Mona's probably like, she's definitely in my top 3. I think my top 3 for this game are, like, not in any order, are Mona, Miyu, and, Sigmund, I guess? Oh, no, those 3. I mean... It's hard, I mean, Sigmund maybe, Zeke is also pretty damn good, so are all these guys. All these guys are really well written. Anyway, why occupy your mind with things you can't change? Why not focus your energy on something better? Like figuring out where we should go for dinner.
How short-sighted. It's a shame I won't have the pleasure of your company.
Knowing you, that was a deliberate choice. You wanted me to spend more time with her.
There's no hiding anything from you, is there? Please promise me that you'll never leave me behind. Me and her.
But that's both her ults, basically.
Please.
Day Mona, Night Mona. I promise.
Thank you. That's all I ever wanted to hear.
You sleep peacefully that night. Yes, go back. Alright, cool. That was beautiful. That was so cute. Right. Anyway, it's not gonna be cute now, because we have to do Dash, so... Okay. He thinks I'm his beloved. I'll have to do my best not to break character.
How are the beans, Natalia?
Oh, right, the beans. A customer, maybe? Oh, okay, she does have to think about it. Not with Mona. They were
What about
great?
the new grind? Was the flavor profile adversely affected?
Not at all, Dash. I like this very much.
How many times have I told you not to lie to spare my feelings?
To lie? But I'm not lying. I really did think they were good.
Nonsense. Those settings were an affront to the senses. No customer would ever like it.
But what about me? Do my feelings not matter too?
Of course they do. Ever since I saw you in the cafe that day, I knew you were something special. You earned your spot in my heart. Not because you were any good at making coffee, but because of your gentle honesty. You were excessively ordinary, but that made you extraordinary.
Oh,
You were the first one to criticize what I thought was the perfect cup of coffee. Sorry, Mr. Barista, sir. I think the top is just a little too frothy. It's making it hard to taste the coffee itself.
I really said that?
Such a simple critique, and yet, from the moment you said it, I could understand exactly what you meant, what you were trying to say. You grounded me, taught me not to be so presumptuous, and thus, the perfect cup remained elusive, something to be found over time, not through the labors of a single week. So, thank you. You taught me that sometimes we are all able to find the most extravagant qualities and even the most simple of things. For that, I am truly indebted. And that is why it wounds me to hear your lies. Do you not see that I don't care what you say as long as your words ring true?
Dash. Very well. You're right. I saw you working hard day and night on this new blend. I just didn't want to upset you. The truth is, I think maybe you should have let this sit in the grinder for longer. I hope that's right.
So that was it all along. The missing step.
But when you serve me coffee in the future, please, keep it as it is. The changes may overstate the sharpness of the flavor, but I was never after just the flavor.
Ma'am.
Oh, you hypocrite. You're back to treating me like a customer again.
Right. I suppose there are things we both could work on, but no matter what, I want you to remember my wish. I hope our love never dies down, and that you'll never end up acquiring a taste for mochas.
That's 2 wishes. Even still. Sleep peacefully that night. Let's do Miyu. Okay, she thinks I'm her beloved. I'll have to do my best not to break character.
Ah, there you are. I've been looking all over for you. I just knew you'd be here. I want you to try this. Don't be shy.
She presses something into your hand. What's this?
It's a recipe I've been trying to perfect, but alcohol is such a complicated ingredient. Please be honest with your opinion.
You try the food, and feel a bit lightheaded right after. That's a lot of alcohol!
Like usual, is it?
No, not at all. I think this is great.
I see. Please come back to the lab when you think you've had enough fresh air. I hate to see you like this.
So this often happens? And lab? Don't worry, Miyu. That was just a minor setback. I'll be getting stuck back into things before you know it.
There's also the letter. How can you stand being called such terrible names? Is it that much of a taboo to do what you're doing? Remember when you first made me?
Oh, so I'm like her creator. Gotcha.
I was so clumsy back then. Tripped right down the stairs and broke into dozens of little pieces. But my orbital lens remained functional. I saw what you did. You put everything else on hold to try and reconstruct me, a mere robot, to make me into something better so that it would never happen again. Of course, that didn't stop me from getting hit by a bus the next day.
You have a gift, Miyu. The gift of freedom and of bullshit, I guess. Humans learn through accidents, but we're also mortal, and mortality is fragile. You, on the other hand, the limits of your mind are endless.
Why? Why are you doing all of this for me?
Because you're my greatest treasure, Miyu. That's all there is to it.
You don't expect anything out of it? Oh, I know. I could dust the glass jars once a week.
No.
And the generator. I could pick up the coal from... But that might be too much for me.
There's one thing you could give me.
Oh? Please tell me.
Your company.
I have a company?
Initiate recalibration.
Oh, very well. If that's all you ask. My company is yours, from now until the day I'm decommissioned.
Aw, you sleep peacefully that night. That was alright. Right, next up, Grace. Here we go. So I think I do have everyone, thank God, so let's do this. Okay, she thinks I'm her beloved, so I better do my best not to break character.
Oh, my love. I didn't think you'd remember.
An anniversary, maybe? But how could I ever forget? I remembered everything since the day we first lay eyes on each other.
That's a good one.
Huh?
The first time I saw you, you didn't look at me at all. Not even once. My staff, on the other hand, were looking all over for me, wondering where I could have run off to after the show was over. The old slip out through the bathroom trick. Works every time.
Right, and I'm still sorry about that even to this day, for not noticing. If I'd seen you then...
Then you might have lost that volleyball game. I didn't want to distract you with my presence. Yes, that's it.
Your presence, and not your beauty?
You shouldn't say something like that.
Say what? That you're a beautiful person inside and out? That you've got one of the kindest hearts I've ever seen? Grace is beautiful as well. Remember our discussions about changing the world? You'd sit there telling me about how the world was rotten, yet your very presence would contradict your message. Because how could the world possibly be so rotten if it made someone like you?
So you do remember. But have we done it? Have we truly made a world our children could be proud of?
Something like that would be impossible in a single lifetime. But it feels good to have been by your side as you put forward your vision. Now, when the world sees a musician, they don't judge them only on their talent. That was never what music was meant to be about, wasn't it?
Say, would you like to listen to my latest song? For your ears only, of course.
Anytime, Grace.
I hope I don't sound like a... No. Prepare to get your socks knocked right off. I know how fond you are of numbers, dear. So I made a song about math just for you.
2 plus 2 is 4. I bet that's what she's saying. 2 plus 2 is 4 minus 1. That's 3 quick maths. And so wait, I didn't read what it said. You listened patiently to Grace's playful rendition about him. Oh my god, it was! Oh my god, I can't believe that. The humor of this game is just getting to me. And sleep peacefully that night. Just get back. Yes, please. Who is next? Hold on, I put my phone on charge. I forgot who was next. Hunt is next. Okay, let's do the big guy. Okay, he thinks I'm his beloved. I better do my best not to break character.
Yes, I can tell. You've grown so much.
This is a bit difficult to get a feel for. What do you mean?
Remember when we first met? You were so reckless. Always charging into things. Getting yourself injured over and over. You'd show up in my place and I'd admonish you for it. Then the cycle would repeat itself.
I didn't have you figured for the sentimental type. Seriously.
Ah, but now that I've started, I just can't stop. Was it your love of literature that drew me toward you? The fact that our words just seem to roll so easily off of each other's tongues? Your compassion?
Does it really matter, Hunt? I think it's more important that we're together right now.
You're right. More tea?
You know there's an empty teacup sitting in your hand. Yes, please. You always brew the best tea, Hunt.
Don't thank me. Thank the Great British Empire.
Thank the Great British Empire. The Great British Empire isn't sitting right beside me making tea, is
Both
it?
tactful and direct. I wish I could learn to be more like you.
Please don't. If I want to see more of myself, I just look in the mirror.
And what do you see when you look at me? There's nothing impressive about me at all.
Really? I think you're wonderful, Hunt. Your clients always have such wonderful things to say about you. And you're so manly.
Don't say things like that. Could you really call this manly? I might look strong. This all just feels like a lie.
I'd say the same thing if you didn't look like that. Manliness isn't just a physical quality, Hunt. And it's not just about mental fortitude either. The outside that's visible to everyone, that's not the part of you I love. And the weaknesses you have. You should wear them all with pride. They're who you are, warts and all.
I'm glad to have met you. To have someone who is more than just a comrade. I hope you never leave my side.
Don't worry, Hunt. The feeling's mutual. Though the tea certainly makes things easier.
But of course, I'll have a fresh pot prepared by tomorrow. In the meantime, is it okay if we just sit down for a bit? I want to enjoy your company for just a while longer, if that's okay with you.
It would be my pleasure. Cool. Right. Well, these are alright. I mean, none of them... Mona's was really nice, but these other ones... They're good, but none of them have exactly stood out. Well, Hunt's... Okay. Mona's was great, so was Grace's. Who's next? Sigmund. Here we go, he's up here. Here we go, I'm interested in this one. Okay, he thinks I'm his beloved, so I'd better do my best not to break character.
Well. If it isn't Little Miss Crazy herself. How you've evaded capture this whole time, I'll never know.
Am I like a serial killer or something? What? Evaded capture? An escapee, perhaps?
Did you check that you weren't followed?
Yes, there's 0 chance.
But there's almost never truly a 0% chance of something happening. For instance, someone somewhere could be making a major scientific breakthrough right this very moment. And come tomorrow, the sky could be filled with pterodactyls.
Okay, let me try that again. I probably wasn't followed.
Then it's good enough for me. Why do you keep insisting on coming back, I wonder? Were our therapy sessions really that important to you?
Therapy? Yes, they were. Sure, you treated me like something worse than human, a mere test subject to be studied. But is that really how you see me?
That sounds like your condition talking on your behalf.
And yet you're giving me shelter even though you know there are people chasing after me, knowing the things that I've done.
Do not mistake my curiosity for compassion. You are here on a merely intellectual basis. And I am not scared of you in the slightest. Humans are deceptively simple. Once you learn to read them, they become predictable, wavering between a handful of defining emotions which overwhelm the rest. Love, pride, envy, courage. How could such a simple entity possibly qualify as dangerous?
I don't think you understand. I've been declared clinically insane. Surely that means...
And what exactly is sanity? How could any man presume to define it? What humans view to be sane is simply part of a narrow range of consciousness. Don't you see? Most behaviors are inherently insane. I conjecture that right now, somewhere out there, there's a psyche test that would have me down as insane.
Why are you telling me all
Don't
this?
you see? You're special. When you were first referred to me, I thought you'd just be another standard case. Ordinary. Predictable. But I don't understand you at all. And in the absence of order, my emotions have taken over. Your eyes. They were so beautiful when I saw them. Your hair. Unkempt, but possessing a certain radiant beauty. Need I spell it out for you? Your very existence gave my life a push against the rigid inertia of routine that had defined my existence until now.
Whoops, didn't mean to do
The
that.
predictability of it all fades with each concurrent visit you pay me.
Sigmund?
There's a room prepared for you down in the basement. Not in plain view, of course. I'll have to show you how the mechanism works. You are free to leave whenever you feel it's safe, of course, but part of me hopes it will remain dangerous for an eternity. To be moved by such a trivial emotion, perhaps that is my special brand of insanity.
As he... The rest of the day... Wait, oh, whoops, sorry. You watch as Sigmund patiently shows you how to access your room in the basement. The rest of the day fades away as you engage in surprisingly meaningful discussion. That was interesting. Sigmund is really... Again, he's really thorough, really interesting character with such a... Like, a philosopher is such an interesting talent to be in a Danganronpa game. Because they look at such... Like, the closest thing I think we've ever had to a philosopher in Danganronpa is Nagito, but he only really believes in his own philosophy. But it's interesting seeing such a ridiculous and obscene outlook on life and reality as we know it from a character in a game, not just in Danganronpa, but just in anything. He's such an interesting character. And he's like this, especially with this whole scene where he's like, "I'm clinically insane. People are hunting for me," and he's like, "Well, how does one define insane? Like, depending on what's asked and depending on what each person believes, maybe I could be insane." And yeah, I feel like that might be foreshadowing to something. I feel like Sigmund's definitely is insane in some manner. He's very, very interesting psyche that he's got. Anyway, yeah, go back. Let's do Florence next. Here she is. I wonder what this one's gonna be. It's gonna be really weird and murderous and creepy, I reckon. We'll see. Okay, she thinks I'm her beloved. I better do my best one to break character.
If it isn't my muse, how are you faring these days?
How are you faring? I forgot the voice I gave for her. Muse? Well, I don't need to worry about it, because obviously she's voicing right now, but...
Should I be checking my pockets right about now?
You misunderstand me,
Really?
Florence.
Now that would be a first. It seems you've forgotten that when we first locked eyes, it was right after I noticed your hands making themselves
Oh, so I was a
in my
thief.
pockets.
That's pretty incriminating. My hands were just cold, that's all.
Is that why the judge let you off? Because you said that to him and he was senile enough to believe it. And to put the proverbial cherry on top, you had the nerve to follow me home as I left the court. I'll admit, I certainly didn't expect the old hide in the boot of your taxi trick. And here we are. To think I was jealous of you. I could never be so shameless. You are such a strange specimen. I wonder what makes you tick. And then came the letters. I think this character should have done that instead. I think this part of the crime could have been substituted with this. It's as if, from the moment we first met, you've done nothing but insult my intelligence. Yet, not once could I bring myself to hate you. Strange, isn't it?
Strange, isn't
In
it?
a way. Perhaps this is what I've always wanted. Not more bootlicking, not more praise, just someone who would call things as they were.
And that's what I like about you, too. You're almost perfect in my eyes, but the parts of you that aren't perfect seem to be in pain. As though they're crying out for recognition.
So, someone knew all along.
Why are you so quiet?
Your letters were always so painfully accurate. No one else but you would dare say it to me, to call me out for my mistakes. Where were you all this time? Why did you wait until now?
Florence?
I'm sorry. It's not your fault. Not your fault that there's so little time left.
All the more reason to enjoy the time we still have.
Hey. Let's go to your favorite spot. Grill Buys, was it?
How did you know? Is that a Grillby's reference for Undertale?
You shouldn't keep their business card in your pocket.
Why you...
And now, after all those years, we're finally even. Let's go. It'll be dark soon.
That was interesting. Who... Okay, in all seriousness, I'm just thinking, spend some time with Florence at Grill Buys and sleep peacefully that night. Whoever it is that voices Florence, have you ever considered professional voice acting? Because you are really damn good. I love your voice. You would be really good if... I tell you what, you know who you would be good as? You would be really good if Tears of Themis ever had an English dub. You would be really good as Rosa if you were to do Rosa's voice. Because your voice is so nice. I might come back to listen to that. Right, Levitica's turn. Let's do this. You my beloved. Here we go.
Do you not plan to chase me away?
What? Why would I do that?
It happens every time you see me. It is understandable. But I cannot deny that it causes me pain.
This one's a bit tough. I'll need to probe for more information. What do you think you're doing wrong, Levitica? You know to make me turn you away
You're
like
asking
that?
me directly. Very well. It is because you cannot stand the sight of me, is it not? A mere cripple, disturbing the able-bodied. Clearly I am far beneath someone of your
Oh,
station.
whoa. No, that's
Then
not
what
it.
is it?
I'm just scared. Scared that someone will rely on me, and then I'll let
Is
them down.
that what ails you? Your conduct has indicated nothing but the contrary when those children were troubling me with their cruel and petty insults. You stopped them, when no one else would dare approach me with even an inkling of benevolent intent. There you were, and here you are. If you won't believe in yourself, then I'll gladly take your place. Let us carry this burden together, you and I.
Levitica.
I come because my eyes stare, but they can no longer see. I fear I am not long for this world. Now I am guided only by the sound of your
Oh,
voice.
is she like blind or
Such
something?
a divine thing it is, and it appears I am not alone.
What? So you've heard?
To be caught alone in your final days, and then to be hastened to the grave with lingering regrets. I can think of no sadder fate. Therefore, I want there to be no regrets. I can only hope that the feeling is mutual.
Of course it is. I've been stupid this whole time.
Then let us journey to the valley beyond together. If anything, it promises to be better than this one, doesn't it?
She holds out her hand which you grasp firmly, and together you walk out of the room. Ooh, into the awaiting darkness. Ooh, that was an interesting one. So, I think what they were trying to say here is Levitica was a blind woman on the verge of, in spending her final days. And clearly Natalia in this situation was clearly also had some kind of, I guess, disease or disability that, like, shortened her lifespan, or that she was about to die. Ooh, that one cut deep. Next is the Doctor. Here we go. if this ends up being some weird, wacky McDonald's sex dream, I swear to God.
Oh, there you are! I was beginning to think you'd forgotten about today.
So something special is happening today? There shouldn't be too many things that Phoenix would consider special. Nice to see the grand opening is going well.
Yes, it is! And it's all thanks to you!
How are the lines?
Very long. It's already stretched around several blocks.
He probably just opened his own burger joint, right?
Seems word has spread quickly.
And what of the menu?
The menu? Yes, we should really work on that, shouldn't we? Make ourselves stand out amongst the competition.
So the menu wasn't a priority? Wait a second. Phoenix, can you remind me of the establishment we're running
Anything
here?
for you, my love. Behold, our brand new clinic.
Oh, he is working in a clinic. But what happened to McDonald's?
I still go there, of course, but it's not a place I'd want to stay at for too long, let alone run. After all, you're not there.
Oh, so I'm a doctor as well in this fantasy, and my presence makes him stay.
Do
I
you
see.
remember the promise we made to each other that day? To achieve our dreams, each of us would have to compromise. But in hindsight, I think the agreement was clearly skewed in my favor.
Won't this be difficult?
Until I met you, that was all I ever thought about. How difficult is this? How difficult will the next day be? Why does everything have to be so difficult? But no more. Now, my love. We shouldn't keep our patients waiting.
Let's do this, Phoenix. Together. Pass some time listening to some surprisingly vivid details about various medical conditions and helping out with the occasional surgery. On who? On like a Monokuma or something? Who did we do surgery on? Alright, yeah, go back. Okay. It was a short but sweet one. Okay, let's do this. Pierce is next. Oh god, I'm not looking forward to this one. Does he remember, though? I don't know. Time to face the guy who started it all as his beloved. I better do my best not to break character.
Objection, Your Honor. This is clearly entrapment.
He's pointing at the horse. Pierce, you might want to tone it down a little. I don't want to have to defend both you and our client at the same time. Hoping this is right.
Sorry, Your Honor. I got a bit too carried away.
Oh, I'm the
If
judge?
you've forgiven my outburst, please say nothing.
The horse is nothing.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Oh no, the horse is the
You're
judge,
as
rather.
benevolent as you are wise. Now, for my final submission. As my client asserts, she was preoccupied with, and I quote, a private sexcapade. Emphasis on private. The witness couldn't have seen what was going on unless they went out their way to do so. That's right. The witness was on the scene of the crime, and I do mean on.
The horse's eyes almost seem to widen, almost.
So you see, there was someone else present. Therefore, further investigation is needed to prove whether our client is in fact guilty of the murder alleged. That is all, Your Honor.
This was a murder case? Excellent work, Pierce.
Couldn't have done it without you.
But I only listened. You did all the heavy lifting.
Hey, you're the one who figured out the witness was a voyeur.
Me?
Can you believe the witness would spy on our client like that? Then have the audacity to testify against them? Who do these people think they are?
Some things never change.
It was never gonna work. His fate was sealed the moment you agreed to take on this case with me. Just like old times, huh?
You're such a great advocate, Pierce. It made the decision easy for me.
Say, are you sure you don't want to work like this more often? Maybe even come work at my agency?
I can't. You know that.
Curses. Foiled again. Why does fate have to be so cruel?
It brought us together again, didn't it? And I think you're forgetting something. A relationship doesn't have to be strictly professional.
Are you making the first move?
You know, for someone who's so assertive in court, you sure are sensitive when it comes to this sort of thing.
I'm no better than our witness. I should have looked away the moment we first met. But I couldn't.
I'm glad you didn't. The night's still young, Pierce. There's so much we have yet to do.
You're volunteering? Okay. I promise not to let you down. Let's go somewhere. A place we'll never forget.
That was a weird one. I figured as much. Just Pierce being Pierce. Freaking Pierce. Right. Next is Zeke. So let's, and I think we still have, he's the only one. No, Virginia, Zeke, Elisa, and Eden, I think, are the only four left. So let's do Zeke now. Okay, he thinks I'm his beloved. I don't know what the hell. I mean, he's a virgin, isn't he? Because he's a gamer, but... Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not really, but...
Well, well, well. If it isn't my favorite support...
Well, the music kicked in very quick this time. I already don't like where this is heading.
Kirk, you're kinda cute when you're shy, you know that?
It's just a dream, Nat. Just a dream.
Nervous as usual? Let's start with some norms. No pressure or anything.
These are actual computers. Talk about a whole new level of lucid dreaming. Okay, limited gaming skills. Don't let me down now. So which support would
Whatever
you like?
want, but just having a look at our comp, I'd recommend something tanky.
Ah! Sorry, Zeke, I've already locked this guy in.
Ooh, interesting choice. Okay, just don't int in lane and we should outscale NP.
Got it. What does that mean? You spend the next 20 minutes trying not to int in lane. And barely succeed. What the heck? How are these guys so
Well,
good?
I do have a high MMR.
That guy's name sounds familiar.
Yep, that's because he's the second best mid laner in the world. Right behind me, of course.
Number 2? Ah, he's coming for me.
Okay, listen carefully. Make a beeline straight for the turret, but as soon as he appears out of the fog, turn and go here.
He's pinged a spot on the map. Huh? But that's suicide.
Don't you trust me?
Not like I have a choice. You do exactly as Zeke says. 30 seconds later, you find yourself staring blankly at the victory screen. What the hell just happened? That didn't save me
You're
at
right.
all.
It didn't. But what it did do was distract the Fed enemy mid laner while we sieged their base. Those few extra seconds meant all the difference. Second in the world, my ass. And there he was, tunneling on the hard-stuck support.
Hey, I am not hard stuck. At least I don't think I, Okay, relax, Nat. It's just a dream.
Say, even when we duo together, you're always the support. Why?
I guess I just like being a
Your
support.
AD is pretty good, though.
I'm with Natalia. I'm the best when I'm playing support in like FPS games like Overwatch or stuff.
Why don't
Or
you play it more often?
Paladins. But then who's going to be the
I'll do it. I'm ranked first in the world for all 5 roles, remember? Why does everyone think I can't play the support?
But I thought you'd like to be a carry.
No, the only thing I like is to have fun. And who says supports can't carry? I've seen you do it plenty of times.
Zeke.
Well, time to do the real thing this time, but let's reverse the roles.
Wait, we haven't practiced
Please,
this before.
what's the worst that could happen?
Since I'm getting exposed to some of the worst things that could possibly happen in a video game. But you also sleep peacefully that night. We had fun. That was nice. I mean, but the better, all the better for Zeke. Bit more dimensional, I guess, than before. Right. The last group is going to be Elisa, Virginia, and Eden in that order. So let's do Elisa next. There's my beloved. What do we got?
So you finally got discharged. I was beginning to wonder if you'd ever pull through.
I'm a criminal again? Why do all of these people see me as a criminal? I was seriously injured? Oh, maybe I was just... maybe I was just injured, I guess. You needn't have worried, Elisa. I always come through in the end.
This time was extra stupid. You could have been killed. And then I never would have forgiven myself.
What do you mean?
You should have just let me take that bullet.
Oh, okay.
It was meant for me, not you. Why did you have to interfere? The views would have been through the roof. Reporter gets shot, live on air. That might have been the ticket we needed to get into the big leagues.
And to get there you would have gambled your life? What about me? What if I'd done nothing and you died? Can you imagine how I would have felt if I had to make this journey into the big leagues all by myself? Did the Thornhill cross your mind?
Of course it did. You deserve your success, much more than me. If I could be useful to you, even as a stepping stone.
Stepping stone?
I think I'd be happy.
Please, Elisa, don't talk about yourself like that.
It's true, though. I can't do anything on my own. It's always you who's chasing all the leads, filing all the paperwork, eating all the bullets.
Remind me again how long I was
6
gone for?
months. 6 long months of fighting for your life because of me.
And in the meantime, our segment became an international success. The ratings are through the roof. Yep, I heard. News travels quickly in this day and age, especially in the world of journalism. Now, what were you saying about the big leagues? I'm glad I took the bullet, and I'm even more glad that I didn't die, because it means I can remain by your side for even longer. If you'll have me. I mean, you already know you don't need me after all.
That's not true. Of course I want you by my side.
Okay, but on one condition. We split the work more evenly from now on, and you're taking the next bullet.
That was 2 conditions.
I wasn't serious about the second one, by the way. You can remove it if you want.
No, keep them both. Maybe if it's my neck on the chopping block, especially now, I've been waiting 6 months to say this, but it's good to have you back.
And it's good to be back, Elisa. She's so cute. You spend some time delegating the work as evenly as possible. So let breastfeed that night. Right. And then Virginia next, so... Okay. She thinks I'm her beloved, so I better do my best not to break character. Though I'll be surprised if it doesn't end up being very predictor.
Oh my god, you're actually on time.
That's a new sprite.
I thought I'd never see the day.
Why wouldn't I be on time?
That's a good one. I thought you hated these types of movies. Too much testosterone and explosions, was it?
Well,
Shh! The movie's about to begin.
You watch as the movie plays out in surprisingly crisp detail, after a seemingly endless roll of credits whizzes past. Wow, what a shock ending. Definitely the sort of thing people will be talking about for weeks, right, Virginia? Virginia?
I can't believe it. He's gone.
Don't worry, I'm sure they'll bring him back in the next film.
If they don't, I'm burning this place to the ground.
Yikes, she looks so serious.
Dinner's coming up soon, isn't it? I don't think I have the appetite for it after that.
It's okay, I can wait.
I don't want you to wait for me. I'm the ultimate secretary. If I'm doing my job properly, then no one has to do any waiting.
Virginia, I thought we agreed not to bring our work into this.
You're right. Sorry.
Come to think of it, it's been a while since I've seen you pull a prank. What happened to them?
There's only so many things you can do with carbon monoxide before it becomes illegal. Besides, when you're around, it feels like I've been given something better to do in my time. Something much better. Anyway, it seems my appetite is back. I'll go wherever you go tonight. Let's make it somewhere special.
Sleep peacefully that night. Let's go back. And then the last one, that was a nice one. Last one, here we go. Oh no, the second to last one, there's the mystery one at the top. Okay, she thinks I'm her beloved, so I better do my best not to break character.
Well, don't just stand there gawking. Give me a hand, will you?
Right, just a second. Sometime Parsley helped her with her work.
Thank you. I didn't mean to get so snappy back then. Sorry.
No, that's okay. This is a really stressful work, so I understand.
It's not supposed to be, though. What we're doing is helping people. Shouldn't that be gratifying instead?
Sure, helping people feels great, but when you're out in the field, it also makes you realize how few people you can truly help. It makes you feel powerless. You end up thinking you keep having to do more, so you push yourself. But in the end, it's just a futile exercise. That rolled off the tongue so easily.
You're right. Gosh, I hate it when you're right.
Did you do everything in your power, Eden? Truly everything?
If the stars are not deceiving me, yes. The plans we drafted together, they're supposed to be the best possible way to give these people aid.
She got it right. If you've truly done everything, then there should be nothing to regret. You gave them your best efforts. It would be unreasonable to expect any more than that. Eden.
What a funny thing the divine eye is. I can't read your mind at all, no matter how much I try. But the temptation no longer exists. It's because I know you only have the best in mind for me. Otherwise, you would have left a long time ago, and you wouldn't even bother indulging my self-pity. But listen to me, talking all fancy like. Daylight's burning, and we've got people to help.
Yep, let's do this. Together. I don't really get that one. I guess that's just like a euphemism for how much she wants to help people. So let's do this mystery one. I can't really think of what this might be. I do have a guess, but we'll have to see. I'll make sure I save anyway. Let's do this. Oh, god damn it! It wasn't what I thought, but alright. Okay, he thinks I'm his What the hell are you doing here, Gilmore? Or Monokuma?
Ah, jeez! You got me! How's this thing supposed to go again? Ahem! Wow! You seem to have snagged me on your fishing line. Not that it's anything to be surprised by. I've always been a catch with the ladies around.
I feel bitterly disappointed on so many levels.
Unfortunately, I don't think we can ever be together. It's forbidden love. People might get the wrong idea, you know? But I'm glad you think this way of me. Why, if only you were a bear. Preferably a pink one with a staff. But alas, it was never meant to be, was it?
Didn't you kill your sister? You slept restlessly that night. Continue story. Let's do this. Knock knock. Knock knock. I don't want to move. Bang.
Sheesh!
Okay, coming. You open the door, and a figure tumbles breathlessly into your room. The goods, Natalia.
I will have order.
Do you have the goods? What? You know. Oh, right.
Initiating Mein Kampf
Time-
test.
Time to see how you went. This is... You really went above
Something
and
is
beyond.
amiss.
You enjoyed this a little too much, didn't you? I don't know what you're talking about. Read me like an open book. It seems I'll have no shortage of thieving to do tonight. Hey, Pierce. Thank you. You... Farewell, Natalia, and...
I'm glad things turned out this way.
Thank you, too. Pierce, before you go, I don't feel the undergarments do what you think they do. Pierce? After dealing with Pierce, you proceeded to have breakfast with everyone else as usual. Then in the afternoon...
All right.
Oh, we're back here again. All right. Who shall we send in today? Mona, are you okay? You look a bit pale.
Leave me out of this.
I think I'll sit this one out. I forgot what voice I gave Mona. I think I'll sit this one out.
The silence
Mona.
intensifies.
What's gotten into you?
Spill!
Stomach not acting up, is it?
How meaningless.
It's nothing. Just tell me about your findings later. She promptly left. What was that all about? Look at what you've done, Comrade Zeke. Thanks to the president you
Preposterous.
sent. Now everyone feels entitled to just walk off at their leisure. Keck.
I have nothing to say.
And more power to her, I say.
I will have order.
Back to the matter at hand. Who shall we send in this time?
Fabulous work, comrade.
Does anyone have a fabulous lead?
How delightfully murderous.
I'm not sure about fabulous, but I do think the next candidate is obvious. It is?
Please enlighten
To
us.
enlighten us, dear lamb. There's no need. Happy to do it, Nyan. After what happened in yesterday's version of the room, the answer is glaringly obvious. Fascinating. Nothing personal, Natalia.
Don't say that.
And no need to explain yourself, Florence Chan. Oh, yeah, because, of course, Natalia is the one we know, other than Blaze, was the one that we know was part of that incident. We know was involved, so we're gonna do her next, I guess. But I expect the same in return if anyone knows something about my room, Nyan.
Do you consent to these terms?
I trust that there are no objections.
I will have order.
You'll hear none from me.
Oh.
Let's go on a magical journey.
I'll add it to the file.
I'll bring the toilet paper. I can't deny that I'm also interested to see my own room, but even then, why do I feel so uneasy? Well, there's no use delaying. Here goes nothing. And so with Sigmund's words from yesterday weighing heavily on you, you trudge solemnly towards the waiting doors of the bicameral room. As you start to head inside, something's wrong. Chotamate! Half the candidates continue
stay
walking.
calm.
I mean, stop, everyone! Everyone stops in unison. Ow! My apologies, comrade. Well, nearly everyone. Look, the door's already open. Perhaps someone forgot to close it yesterday? No, it was definitely closed when we left the room yesterday.
How illogical.
I made sure of it. Oh?
Interesting.
Did somebody already volunteer themselves today?
Do not assume.
Can anyone see inside the room? Is someone dead in there? Who's not here? Who's not showed up? Oh? Are you suggesting that the room
What a novel
could
idea.
already have been activated? There's only one way to find out. Can I get a couple of people to come with me? They can act as my witness.
For the Great British Empire.
Affirmative, comrade. I'll go too.
As logic
I
dictates.
trust this will be sufficient. Slowly, the three of you creep towards the door. They keep creeping towards the door. Reaching out in tandem, you push it open as it swung inwards.
Preposterous.
What in the name of Rommel is this?
I shall take you on.
Is it safe to join yet? I think it should be fine now, just as I suspected. Like usual, you crossed the threshold into the room. But in this time, something was distinctly different. Instead of swinging in and out of focus, the backdrop of the room was already clear as day. What the actual crapping hell is this? Whose is this? Oh, I'll tell you what this is. I'll tell you what happened. Theory. Whoever the mastermind is also, brought down by the rules of the motive, or whatever the motive is. and they have anonymously gone to the bicameral room and had this secret exposed, and we now have nothing to connect it. We don't know what it means, and we don't know whose it is, so they've done that on purpose. That's interesting. It appears to be a number cipher of sorts. Well, no shit, Sherlock. I mean, very good, sir. Any clue to what it actually means? Me, you?
Was it you?
Did you sneak into the bicameral room before the rest of us? Are you saying she ate the main course?
That shouldn't have been possible!
Then had seconds too?
Lay off.
Dare I ask why you're automatically assuming this is Miyu's room? Just because there's some weird floating number patterns doesn't mean it's hers. Why, I bet if this was a dimly lit room with a table and crystal ball... Actually, I'll sit this debate out. Do carry on.
Logical error detected.
But I've never been in this room before. How could I have activated it?
This just in.
How about the numbers? Do they mean something to you?
Spill!
The numbers meet you? What do they mean? What do they mean? It's no good.
Multiple system
I'm running that
failures
sequence through my
detected.
database and it's coming up blank. Rearranging the numbers has so far also failed to yield any results. Is this really Miyu's room? No, it's not! We saw Miyu's room! Or was the room activated at some other time by someone else? I don't know why, but I just have this feeling that somehow we're all being misled by some dangerous assumptions. Hey! Kill more!
I was wondering when you guys would call.
Me again? Was he lurking there this whole time? Answer me this. Is there anything important about the room
We're airing this uncut.
that you have yet to tell us? Such as? That was my question. You're supposed to be the one telling us. Okay, let's start with this. When exactly does the room reset? What? That's
What
obvious.
rubbish.
It's right at this time every day, isn't it? You mean...
Preposterous.
But you said... I said its form changes every day.
What's this?
I didn't say when. I can't believe all of you fell for such a simple psychological trick.
Disappointing.
You're worse than the witness in Kin's Daichi. Great show, by the way. So you're saying that all someone would have needed to do to activate this room is find out when it changes and sneak over? Perhaps. Perhaps not. Who can say? Now I trust that'll be all your questions. Yes? He sank back beneath the floorboards, the sound of his laughter fading away into the distance. If it is as Grace hypothesized, then someone has indeed found out when this room resets. And not only did they calibrate the room by themselves,
How illogical.
they neglected to tell the rest of us about any of this.
It wasn't me.
Who could that person be, I wonder? And just looking at the room, it appears that in terms of low-effort jobs, this was on par with yesterday. How shall I put it? The writing is on the wall.
Gracefully.
Literally. Let us make haste with our precautions. So I propose, first of all, that someone make a precise replica of the cipher.
Thinking.
If anyone here good with their hands. Anyone else? Leave it to me. My artistic talent is second only to my writing skills. Moreover, I think it would be best to preserve the
My
scene as
logic
it
is
is.
infallible.
I suggest we have at least 2 people on watch at all times from now until midnight. Why not after midnight, too? I have a suggestion, actually. Mona's nighttime persona dabbles in inventions, does she not?
Possibilities are
I think I'll
endless.
approach her later to ask if she can establish a surveillance system here.
Very good, sir.
Very good, sir. If everything else is in order, I would like to volunteer myself for the nighttime shift.
I trust that this is
A slot
satisfactory.
right after dinner would be perfect.
Why?
But Dash, that's not what we're supposed to rehearse for. Just a coincidence, ma'am. Very well. Shall we draft a provisional schedule at least until we can arrange for Mona to establish a surveillance network? If it's even possible. I have faith in her talents. Oh, and one more thing.
As logic dictates.
To help us get our mind off this bicameral room business, why don't we schedule the play performances for tomorrow morning?
Don't you start.
Have you lost your mind? That's way too soon!
What's your condition?
Were you planning to do anything else tonight? Well, I just don't like this. I don't see any problems.
Let's do it together.
It just means we'll have to work extra hard in the meantime, won't we, Dash? Oh, not you two. that settles it. Make sure you sort this out amongst yourselves.
How enlightening!
Come tomorrow, perfection will be expected. After helping draft up a monitoring schedule and discussing the place for a little while longer, you decide to head back to the school. That same night. And now for my signature special... It seems we're missing a few people. Nearly everyone, actually. What's going on? Perhaps they're still practicing their lines? We had to cut a few corners to finish that sentence, didn't we, Dash? But I wonder where the rest of our group is. If I can take time off from my lines to make dinner, then there's no excuse for not finding the time to eat it. Absolutely no excuses. I mean, very good, ma'am. You start to eat. Just as you were about to take a single bite... Come quickly! Something terrible has happened!
Don't try anything funny!
About damn time you showed up! The food's getting cold. We've got bigger fish to fry right now. Bigger than Dash's trademark barrowman. Please stop. Just come! We're wasting time! Is someone dead? Well, it couldn't be because there would be no body announcement, would there? You followed Sigmund as he sprinted out of the school in the general direction of the bicameral room. However, when you were nearly there, he stopped and made an abrupt turn. But this is the way to... When you arrive at the scene, you can feel a strong metallic smell permeating the air. One as powerful as it was familiar. Oh, we do have a death. We have a death. We have a death. We must have a death. This must be... Someone must have died. Who is it? No. It couldn't be. As you walked in, nothing could prepare you for what you saw. There's blood. I see blood on the floor. Who is it?
Screw this!
What is this? As the world around you swelled out of focus, a familiar chime went off in the background, punctuating the deathly pallor of the room. Oh, that I forget. We don't see, do we? We don't see until the actual Deadly Light starts. A body has been discovered. After a certain amount of time has passed, the class trial will begin. Chapter 2. The Blank Stare of the Abyss. Chapter end. Oh, so someone actually is freaking dead. Who is it? Alright, you know what? We're gonna react to it. Who is it? Right, we're watching it on YouTube. Here we go. Who is it? Oh, I'm actually really nervous. Oh, it's animated. It's animated this time as well. Oh, it's Phoenix! That's totally Phoenix. Yes, that's Phoenix. Oh, no. Phoenix? I can't scream too loudly. Oh, whoa. I didn't see that one coming. It's just, I mean, I didn't see... This game has done a really good job at actually getting me with all of these BDAs and these the characters who actually die in this, because I haven't predicted a single person who was dying. Phoenix basically had like... Okay, one thing I think this game does very cleverly is... Danganronpa, it's quite easy most of the time to make inference as to who's gonna die. I think the best example I can think of is Chapter 2 of Danganronpa 2. Like, it started putting quite a heavy bit of focus on Mahiru, which made me think that maybe she might die, and she ended up dying. Same goes with Fuyuhiko, and the whole thing with Peko, she was the least... the character I least expected to be involved in that chapter. But literally, Phoenix did basically nothing this whole chapter. Nothing, at least, that would imply that he was going to die soon. And I'm interested to hear what potentially could be the killer's motive. Because Mona is sus because she ran away earlier. I don't think it's Mona, though, because she seems to be very important or integral to the group so far. Bit dust. I don't know, though, who could possibly have the motive to kill Phoenix. Maybe it was the case that whoever's room that was, or whoever, someone, I'm trying to think of how to best put this. Someone, tried to stop Phoenix from seeing their bicameral room. Because clearly, Phoenix might have arrived at the time the bicameral room reset and just did so on accident, but someone else was scouting it out, trying to figure out who it was. I think we can automatically rule off Dash and Grace because they were with me at the time. I don't really know what happened before then, but basically, what's tough is that it seems to be that despite the fact that Sigmund had the idea of putting on the play, Dash and Grace were and Natalia obviously were the only three who actually showed up. Oh god, I'm gonna have to really think about this one. But anyway, next time in New World Order we will get into the Deadly Life. Finally, it's been like, how long has it been actually? I'm gonna double check. Okay, we started Chapter 2 of this game 6 months ago, and we started this game in general 2 years ago. But anyway, friggin' Phoenix. This game is very underrated, very good. I feel kind of bad admitting that Phoenix wasn't a character I was actually super into, so I'm not that sad that he's gone. But anyway, thank you for watching. We will see you next time where we will finally investigate the murder and figure out who the hell it is that killed our beloved McDonald's-obsessed doctor. So thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. And, wait, actually, that's not the right outro, is it? I meant to say, so long, farewell, pooh!
Could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. People like sheep move